Let us see. So, okay, let me jump into the first thing I wanted to talk about today, which is the battle between Elon and Zuck the Cuck. So, let's get into this one really quick here today. So, obviously, this thing is going to be trending for a while. What's going on here? And the potential lawsuit here by Elon against Mark Zuckerberg. Obviously, the allegation is that this Twitter killer, as they always call it. Of course, everyone calls themselves that. Mastodon called themselves that. Spoutable called itself a Twitter killer. It's hard to take down the king. It's hard to take down the number one. And same thing, by the way, with Facebook. It's still hard to take down Facebook. And one thing I learned being abroad is that a lot of people abroad still use Facebook. So this is something that is going to be like, for example, Facebook is difficult to kill because a lot of people abroad use it. A lot of boomers use Facebook. So this is something that is not going to go away. These things are not going to go away anytime soon. But I think the interesting thing to follow is whether or not there ends up being a payout here. Because obviously, in this kind of pushback, one against the other, Musk is pretty much convinced and has some solid background here that this isn't a fair competition. This is actually stealing of information from Twitter to get behind Threads, to get behind Facebook's Threads. So Meta's Thread project. So it's very interesting to see where this will go. I need to know more about the background between this, right? So like how this is actually like what they actually took, because Twitter claims that they took that employees had a part in taking this information. So if they had, for example, a non-compete and they went to go work on Threads, yeah, that would be a problem, right? That would be something that might be more actionable. Or if there's some sort of trade secret or some sort of thing they filed. But of course, the mainstream media so far has backed up Zuck the Cuck because they want to say, oh, well, they want to attack Elon. So obviously, look, I'm no Elon defender, but I'm saying I call it like I see it when I see these things, just like I saw the mainstream media backing up Disney. So right now, what I'm seeing, and I think what you guys can see, and tell me if I'm right or wrong, is I see most of the mainstream media backing up Zuck. Be like, oh, Zuck's gonna own Elon, Zuck's gonna kill Twitter, et cetera, et cetera. I don't think that's the case at all. I think Twitter definitely has a market mover advantage, and with some of the innovations they'll do, I think they're going to stay ahead of Facebook. I think Facebook certainly has given up, or Meta has really given up way too much to advertising. So I think that's really their biggest issue. It's not whether or not they add another feature. It's that, Meta, Facebook is covered in ads. All right, guys. So let me get this here. Scott Westbrook with 10 memberships. Thank you so much, Scott Westbrook. Very based. And everybody appreciates you there in the chat. So now we got a whole flood of new members. This is a sea of green. I love to see it. I absolutely love to see it. But yeah, no, Talk is exactly right here. Elon derangement syndrome. They all have got it. It's like Trump derangement syndrome. As soon as someone becomes the enemy, they just hate them irrationally. But yeah, appreciate that. Yeah, J-Rock, appreciate those gifts, Scott Westbrook. J-Rock likes being green. A lot of people like being green here. It's nice. But I agree. John Sipp says, who's a member, says, I'll never support Meta. Yeah, nope. I'm never going to get behind, never going to get behind like Zuck's agenda. That being said, look, if he puts out something and it's successful, I'll call it successful. I mean, I'll call it what it is. But in this one, we'll see what the lawsuit. I want to see more proof. I want to see where it goes. I want to see the filing, but I will cover it when it comes out because I feel like there will be a filing here. I don't know if Elon's filed. So far, I think it's been a threat, not a filing. So we'll see. Maybe there's a settlement agreement. Maybe there's some backroom deal. We'll see what goes on there. But yeah, I do agree. Meta is a complete joke by now. Meta is an absolute joke. But you see here, though, the Threads side. Threads isn't necessarily ready to go. So Threads is going to have problems in the EU because if you know, the EU is kind of anal about privacy. And these are kind of growing pains that Twitter worked through and that Instagram, kind of had to work through, I guess, at some point. But I guess the Threads app has not worked through that, so they're not even close to ready to launch in the EU. So Threads is not there yet as an overall technology. But I think that most knockoffs tend to fail. And as Matt said, this is going to make them fail. And I hope, and let me actually go big screen on this. I hope this is the reason why most things fail. I hope what we see is people self-selecting into the uncensored raw version. And I think we can win. I really think we can win. Look at what's happening with Bud Light. Look at what's happening with Target. Look at what's happening with Disney. Look at what's happening with all of these woke companies when there are other options. When there are other options. As soon as there's another option, people go to that option. All right, so let's move over here to the next thing I want to cover. I think I got everything. Oh, wait, sorry. Bella Stella gifted 20 memberships. Whoa, Bella, sorry I missed that. Making it rain, appreciate you. Bella's been a great supporter for a long time, so really appreciate you, Bella, sending those out there. Raining that green. Truly appreciate you, Bella. Staying very, very based over here in the legal mindset. And we also have 333 people in the chat, and we've got 100 or so likes. So if you guys could smash the like button, let's get up to 200 today.